Did you know that some of your favorite Pokémon were once human? Just as you hear it, according to official Pokémon lore, there are several Pokémon that were once human in the franchise. And not that it's a secret, you can find out a lot of shady things just by reading the descriptions in the Pokédex. So we'll dive into the lore behind 10 Pokémon that started out as humans from the least to the most creepy. Get ready for some spooky tales. Let's start with the least shady one, Gastly, who makes his first appearance in Red and Green. The first mention of it having souls as a component of its body happened in Gen 7. In the Ultra Sun Pokédex entry, it is said that the gas emanating from a graveyard was possessed by grievances of the deceased, thus becoming Gastly. To further back that information, the Ultra Moon Pokédex entry states that while 95% of its body is made of poisonous gas, the remaining 5% are souls of those who deceased from it. It seems like, while Gastly is mostly composed of gas, as it has been since its release, part of its existence relies on human souls. This is a haunting reminder that even the most innocent-looking Pokémon can have a dark past. Next, Sandygast, which was introduced in Gen 7. Although the Sun Pokédex entry mentions it has a connection to deceased humans, this only becomes more apparent in the Ultramoon entry, which says that Sandygast is the result of a sand mound becoming possessed after being left. Also, in Gen 8, Sandygast Pokédex entry in Pokémon Sword mentions that what possesses this mound is a collective number of grudges of the dead. The most likely species to hold grudges are humans. Therefore, this creature once had a human form before becoming a sentient pile of sand. Now, one of the most popular characters of the franchise, Gengar, the final evolution of Gastly, was once human. This Pokemon is mostly known for casting curses and haunting others, in addition to making environments colder. Nevertheless, there is a mention of its humanoid form in the Moon entry that says, it apparently wishes for a traveling companion. Since it was once human itself, it tries to create one by taking the lives of other humans. Unfortunately, it ends up taking the lives of humans when it tries to find a buddy to travel alongside. Next, another ghost-type Pokemon that was once human, Honedge. It has no notable humanoid characteristics. It is a Pokemon that resembles a sword from medieval times, and most of its Pokédex entries mention about Honedger being born from a person's soul after they were killed by the sword that it resides in. Also, to add more darkness to this fact, Honedge is known to wrap his sash around people's arms and suck their life energy if they dare to grab it by the hilt. And here, things start to get a little shadier with number 6, Kadabra. This is one of the very few Pokemon that was once a human and is not a ghost type. Kadabra has its origins in a tragic tale. Although it has existed since Gen 1, it was only in Gen 3's Pokemon Emerald that it had its human origin confirmed. There were rumors that Kadabra is actually a boy with psychic abilities who was suddenly transformed when assisting in research into his extrasensory powers. The Fire Red entry says that the boy with powers one day awoke already transformed into Kadabra. This detail was then largely ignored for 3 generations, only to reappear in Pokemon Sun, when it is mentioned that the boy could not control his powers and was transformed. Still not creepy enough for you? Let's go with the top 5. Drifloon is mostly known for the fact that it tries to carry away wandering children. Its Pokédex entries also reveal that it was once human. According to its entry in Pokemon Diamond, Drifloon is formed by the spirits of people and Pokemon. In Gen 6, the Ghost type's entry in the Ultra Moon Pokédex then states that wandering souls gathered together to form Drifloon. Later on, in Gen 8, the Pokemon's entry in Legends, Arceus states that unconfirmed rumors point to Drifloon being formed by reincarnated human souls. EP. Number 4, Phantump. Legend tells that its green leaves can cure any illness. When plucked, however, the leaves will instantly wither away. But according to the creature's Pokédex entry in Pokemon Y, Phantump is actually a tree stump that was possessed by the spirit of a child who died while lost in the forest. This grim origin also reflects on the Pokemon itself, as seen in Pokédex entries in Ultra Sun and Shield. For instance, Phantump imitates the voice of a human child, which would be explained by the fact that it is actually the spirit of a human child. Phantump is, however, a benevolent spirit who is only searching for friends, according to Pokemon Violet. Number 3, Spiritomb is possibly the most well-known Pokemon to have been created from humans. Since its debut in Gen 4, how it is formed has been discussed. In its Pokédex entry in Pokemon Diamond, Spiritomb is said to be the collective form of 108 souls combined. According to several other entries in the series, Spiritomb is bound to a fissure in an odd keystone as a way of punishing its constant mischief and misdeeds 500 years ago. While it is known that Spiritomb is made out of 108 souls, it is uncertain what caused the these souls to come together and form it. Pokemon Sword mentions that there are ill-natured spirits in the mix, while Legends Arceus entry simply adds that Spiritomb lays curses by thinking wicked thoughts. Number 2. Yamask. This is one of the creepiest Pokemon in the series, and has had its connection to its previous human form established since its debut in Gen 5's Black and White. According to its entry in Black, Yamask carries around a mask, that was once their human face, and they often look at it and cry. The crying is somewhat explained in Pokemon White's entry, as it states that all Yamask retain the memories of their former lives. As such, these creatures that arose from the spirits of people in graves in past ages are likely aware that they were once human. This one may have been more sad than dark, but are you ready for the creepiest of them all? And the winner for the creepiest origin goes to the female evolution of Snorunt, Froslass. In the remake's Pokedex entries, Froslass was a woman who died on an icy mountain after becoming lost. Its entry in Moon mentions that the woman's soul possessed an icicle, thus becoming Froslass, while Legends Arceus mentions that the woman died bearing a grudge. If that were not enough, Froslass is creepy. If it finds humans or Pokemon it likes, it freezes them and uses them as decorations in its den, as seen in Sun's Pokedex. Froslass is not only a creature to have been a human in a past life, but also one of the scariest monsters in the entire Pokemon franchise. So there you have it, 10 Pokemon that were once human. From the ghostly Gastly to the icy Froslass, these creatures offer a glimpse into the darker side of the Pokemon world. Which of these Pokemon surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more Pokemon content.